time's here, 'cause The View starts now. Women of the Year. How Time Magazine's honoring the voices of the Me Too movement who broke their silence. Oliver versus Hoffman. John Oliver calls out Dustin Hoffman for sexual misconduct allegations live on stage. Did he cross the line?
There was a period in time for a while when you were creeping around women.
And father figure star Ed Helms talks about returning to his Daily Show roots. The House of Hot Topics is in session with Whoopi, Sarah Haynes, Joy Behar, Sunny Hostin, and Meghan McCain. Now, let's get things started.
Has unveiled their pick for Person of the Year, and they chose the Silence Breakers, who exposed sexual harassment and launched the Me Too movement. And some people are saying, was that the right choice? Well, some people thought it was going to be them. Oh. But it wasn't going to be them. And it turned out to be the Silence Breakers.
She's not talking about me.
But I mean, I think it's pretty amazing.
Well, I like that there's an elbow in there, which you see on the side, and I didn't know if it was meant to represent just the general woman, but that was actually a choice. The image you see of that elbow in the front there is a woman, a hospital worker in the middle of the country who shared her story with us, but said she didn't feel she could come forward without threatening her livelihood. So they even used that, was deliberate.
It's still there, yeah. It's still there.
It's still there, but you know, we've said it before, is this a watershed moment? I certainly think it's a moment of reckoning. And a really important moment. And what's shocking to me is the Me Too hashtag or campaign was started in 2006 by a woman.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
2006 by Tarana Burke. And she founded it because she experienced sexual assault herself. And she wanted to do something to help women and girls who had also survived sexual violence. And I thought, my goodness, that was 11 years ago. Why did it take so long to have this moment of reckoning?
This is almost like the climax of the movement, and then it's going to just continue.
Do you think it started with Anita Hill?
That's really probably when it's the first.
Modern day, I would say it was Gretchen Carlson. Like I would say, like.
Gretchen Carlson is actually not included in this, which I was surprised in. Megyn Kelly is. And again, I know we all know I used to work at Fox, but Gretchen Carlson really was sort of the first person to start all of this, at least in media. I was also surprised they don't include the journalists. I still think Ronan Farrow deserves like a Peabody Award and all the accolades. He kept at it even when NBC allegedly didn't want to have him continue. He used his own personal money to do interviews with Rose McGowan.
Yeah, he'll get a Peabody for that, but this is,
well, a journalistic award, because he made these women feel safe at a time when I don't know if journalists necessarily were. So that's my only issue with this, is I think but I guess you can't include everyone, but maybe a little section for
Gretchen Carlson brought down Roger Ailes. I mean, that's a big enchilada.
But if this was started 11 years ago.
The hashtag or
the
movement.
Hashtag.
Yeah.
Do you know anything about the young lady who started it?
Just that her name's Tarana Burke. She's an African-American woman. She experienced sexual assault, and she said she wanted to not only do something to help women and girls, but particularly women and girls of color, because of the silence that there is in the community about that.
I'm glad to know that there's, because we heard that someone else started this hashtag, and so it's good to sort of follow it and see where it went. But it
give credit where
11
credit is due.
Well, yeah, you got to give some credit. 11 years ago,
I have a question though, because the movement sort of started with Trump being elected in the Women's March, and I wasn't present at the Women's March, but my father's, I don't want to say too much, but he saw it near where he works, and he said it was seas and seas and seas of women, and he was like, I remember having a conversation, he was like, this cannot be ignored. There's more women than you could possibly see at this time, no matter how you feel about it. I didn't participate in the Women's March. And then it ends with this Time Magazine being Woman of the Year. Do you think this would have happened had Trump not been president?
Oh, that's a good one.
If Hillary Clinton had won.
I actually do, because I think the whole issue with the women coming out had more to do with they just couldn't hold on to it anymore. And I think that this movement forward would have happened because, you know, this silence has gone on for years and years and years and years.
Yes.
And part of the reason that it is no longer silent is because it's not easy to do this to women or men anymore. It's not easy to just do it anymore and get away with. People would tell on you like that. They're like, right there he is. There she is, there they are. So I think it would have happened no matter what, just the right time.
And if Hillary had won, women would have felt empowered that we had a woman in the White House, and we were like even stronger. This is more of a reaction to Trump.
Well, and if you really
it's a different motivation, but either way, as she says, it would have happened, I think.
Considering that Roger Ailes and Bill O'Reilly were the first major, powerful, wealthy people to go down, I think that is where I saw the dam break. And so I would say that probably was going to happen regardless.
And that did happen before the election. It happened in July.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's just, it's a really interesting time to be a woman, especially a woman in media.
Yeah.
And I thought it was going to be, we predicted this on the show that we more than likely thought this would be the People of the Year. I think it's great on Time Magazine's part. And I agree with you that any man who's screwing around at work anymore, you better start running because this isn't a good time for you.
And it has definitely sparked a national conversation about sexual harassment. Now, John Oliver asked Dustin Hoffman about the allegations against him during the 20th anniversary screening of the movie Wag the Dog. Take a look.
Do you believe this stuff that you read? I believe what she wrote, yes.
Why?
Because there's no point in her lying.
Well, there is a point in her not bringing this up for 40 years.
Really? Oh, just.
There isn't.
So this was a panel discussion about a movie, and there weren't just, he wasn't the only one on stage. So should John have invited him on the show if he wanted to really get into this? Because I guess it went on and on and on for a while. On John Oliver's show, as opposed to a panel discussion about a film, which the secondary story in the film is that this has happened because a president has messed around, and they start this whole other thing to take attention away from it.
It's allegedly loosely based on the Monica Lewinsky Kosovo action during the Clinton administration. It's a political satire.
That clip makes me a little mad because seeing that clip, like, there is a reason why people didn't speak up 40 years ago, so I feel like that kind of misses the argument that people didn't have power then, there's power now. Yeah. But two, the people I felt for were the ones in the audience. I'm not about anyone getting off easy, so I think you have to ask a question. It's the elephant in the room. But the reason people go to the 92nd Street Y is to honor a piece of art or have a speaker there, a forum they can discuss. So a part of me felt it was the wrong time because people show up and they were talking about an anniversary of a movie. The director was there. There were other people. It was supposed to be a conversation about something. So I'm not saying let him off, but I felt badly for the people that showed up and then had to listen to this.
See, but I think there's never, is there really ever a right time to address these issues?
Yeah.
Like, I wonder what happened when Nate Parker, who was the director of Birth of a Nation, and rather than getting Oscar buzz, every time he was interviewed about, you know, the movie, he was interviewed really about an old rape case for which he was acquitted. And I thought at that time that it was fair game as well, because I think that we have...
Even though he was acquitted?
Yes, well, to broach the subject, because there were rape scenes in his movie, and there were a lot of allegations around. And same with Dustin Hoffman, although of course he's apologized if he offended anyone.
And he's not accused of. Let's be really clear. He's not been accused of rape.
And he says he believes he didn't do anything wrong.
And also, but his question was, you know,
why 40 years?
Why 40 years? And you're confronting me with this now, and you're not asking me what happened on my end. You're telling me that I did something. You're going in this direction. But could John have just said, "Listen, I want to have you on my show"?
I think certainly he could have done that as well. But I don't know that there is ever that he should have missed the opportunity to address the elephant in the room.
But you know what? You know what? There's a certain sandbagging element to this also, not to defend Justin, but it's like he didn't expect that. He came on to talk about it. He said,
other people
wag
there.
the dog.
There's like a director.
And then he
it's
springs this on him.
that a question would have come up because that's part of the film. But it didn't just stop with one question. It sort of apparently went on and on.
Isn't it slightly fascinating that Dustin is so tone deaf that he would show up at this?
Well,
Yeah.
I mean,
I'm sorry, no. You know what? This is the bitch about allegations. You know, so do people who have been accused, if they don't feel that they are responsible for something, and they say, no, I didn't do this. This is what I recall. So does he stay home now because everybody's going to ask him, or
no,
does
but
he?
it's just the wag the dog, as you pointed out, has this element in the film, and there he is, a sitting duck at the 92nd Street Y, in the middle of this particular thing that's going on.
Who expects this to happen?
But why not just say, I didn't do it?
I actually do think he said, I didn't do that, and I don't recall
He doesn't
this.
remember it.
But
Yeah.
you know,
why not respond to John Oliver?
well, but because he's responded. See, this is the bitch about this. You have to continue to respond every time somebody asks you, which is fine if you don't mind that. But if you're going to talk about a movie, one question you expect. Do you expect to have to do the whole 90 minutes at the 92nd Street Y on the thing? That's the conversation. So, John, maybe you'll come on and talk to us about this, too.
Yeah.
We'll be right back with more Hot Topics.
Later, Bannon blasts Romney. Trump's former advisor comes for Mitt in a fiery speech supporting Roy Moore. And did he take a veiled shot at the president? How many takes does it take The View to wish you happy holidays?
We'll go this way a little bit more.
What makes the holiday?
I cannot be serious.
What is that?
3, 2.
Or this may take a few.
Okay. What makes the holiday season magical for you?
Family.
Family and my dearest friends.
Family and cookies and music. And how much time do we have?
The tree, the balls, everything.
She just can't help herself.
We were almost there.
Happy holidays from The View.
I love you, basement guest bathroom. Your privacy makes you my #1 place to go #2. I love you, but sometimes you stink. Febreze Air Effects doesn't just mask, it cleans away odors. Because the things you love the most can stink. And try Febreze Small Spaces to clean away odors for up to 30 days. Breathe happy with Febreze.
When you have a cold, stuff happens. Shut down cold symptoms fast with maximum strength Alka-Seltzer Plus liquid gels.
Eucerin has been solving dry skin problems for over 100 years. Discover Eucerin Advanced Repair. It moisturizes dry, itchy, rough skin for immediate relief and proven 48-hour moisture. For healthier looking skin, look for Eucerin, now in the red cap.
Dear Santa, every year you fill all our stockings with the cool spin brush. Mom says it's tradition. So this year, I want you to have a tradition too. With all those cookies, you're gonna need it.
Give the gift of smiles with Arm & Hammer Spin Brush.
If you could see your cough, you'd see all the sickness you're spreading. Robitussin CF Max. Nothing lasts longer and treats more symptoms for your cough, cold, and flu. Robitussin CF Max Severe, because it's never just a cough.
Illuminate dull hair with formulas infused with hand-pressed Moroccan argan and camellia oils. Garnier Whole Blends Illuminating Hair Care indulges hair with moisture for luminous shine. Garnier Whole Blends Argan and Camellia Oils. Find every blend at Walmart.
Attention homeowners. Quicken Loans has some very important information regarding the U.S. government's Home Affordable Refinance Program, or HARP. We've told you about HARP in the past, and we're happy to report that nearly 3.5 million homeowners have already taken advantage of this fantastic money-saving program. But there are so many more of you who could be saving hundreds of dollars every month on your mortgage. Quicken Loans is here to help you save your money. Why Quicken Loans? The home loan experts at Quicken Loans fully understand the HARP guidelines. We'll work with you to understand your specific circumstances and strive to find the financial solution that's best for you. Then we'll guide you through each step of the mortgage refinance process to make sure that it's both simple and easy. And for 7 years in a row now, J.D. Power has ranked Quicken Loans highest in the nation in customer satisfaction for primary mortgage origination. And for the 4th year in a row, they've also ranked us highest in the nation for mortgage servicing. If you're not familiar with HARP, it's a U.S. government program designed specifically for homeowners who have little or no equity. A great feature of the HARP program is that most HARP refinance loans do not require an appraisal, and there are fewer income verification requirements. That makes it simpler, easier, and even faster. And even if you've been denied for a HARP loan in the past, new guidelines mean that you now may be eligible. Give us a call and we'll give you a Quicken Loans mortgage review. And we'll do all we can to help you save money on your mortgage. It's simple and easy. Find out if you're eligible to take advantage of today's incredibly low interest rates and start saving money every month on your mortgage. Call Quicken Loans today or go to quickenloans.com for a mortgage experience that's engineered to amaze.
What an historic mad roller coaster of a year. Tonight.
This year has been a trip.
The highs, the lows.
They announced the winner. You had one job.
Epic romance.
He's engaged to a sister. I have a confession. I've never told anyone this.
Wait, what? And what we just couldn't get enough of.
Despacito.
Despacito!
It's the year, baby.
Now we have a show.
Tonight, it's The Year at 9/8 Central on ABC. Still ahead.
Who was that? I think it was a person.
Father figure star Ed Helms hits the table.
So welcome back. Seemingly, a lot of Republicans have done a 180 on Senate candidate Roy Moore, but Mitt Romney is not one of them. So at a rally for Moore yesterday, the man who's been supporting Moore from day one went after Mitt Romney. And so former President Steve Bannon took issue with...
What?
Well, because I believe that Bannon has been running the government since the election. But that's just me. But here's a clip of what he said. Take a look.
Solid gold.
And now I'm going to get personal. You ran for commander-in-chief. You had 5 sons. Not one day of service in Afghanistan and Iraq. We have 7,000 dead and 52,000 casualties. And where were the Romneys during those wars? Judge Roy Moore has more honor and integrity in that pinky finger than your entire family has and its whole DNA.
Now, you know, you could have actually had this conversation about the man who's sitting in the White House now. Because I don't believe, I don't believe, you could have had this conversation about any number of people.
Wait.
Should there...
I thought we don't like people who are captured. Come on. I thought that's the same people. I'm sorry. Like, who the hell are you to be sitting here and talking about service, what your administration said about my father? Take a seat. That I can't handle. First of all, let me just take this for a minute, ladies, if you don't mind, Joy. First of all, just let me take this. First of all, I don't like service shaming in general. I think people are called to serve when they're called to serve. They're not when they're not. I don't like doing that in general. It is very hypocritical after what President Trump said about my father. Never apologized, by the way. Still haven't gotten an apology. Still haven't gotten an apology from it. So give me a break. Steve Bannon did serve. He was in the Navy for a long period of time. What's fascinating about this is Steve Bannon is so threatened by Mitt Romney right now. There's a lot of rumors that Mitt Romney is going to end up running for Senate in Utah if Orrin Hatch steps down. He's the current senator, longest serving senator in history. I think it's 8 terms, or again, recent history. Right. And what's fascinating about it is if Mitt Romney gets in, and he's indescribably popular in Utah, it will be a non-Bannon candidate that's a shoo-in in the Senate, and Steve Bannon don't like that.
Like it.
And by the way, Breitbart Traffic, his website that's super powerful, It's down 20% compared to last year, and they have a sharp decline, nearly 90% in the number of advertisers. So if Roy Moore loses, which again, now, I mean, I still think he'll ultimately win, but if he does, it will neuter his power right now. So he's running scared right now.
But you know, I was asking you this in the makeup room. Why is Steve Bannon so powerful? I mean, he left the White House. I know he was like the strategist, the chief strategist, whatever that is. But why he left, I thought maybe he was kicked out and he would become less powerful. And now he still seems to have this power.
He also has
Why
Trump's
is
ear
that?
every day.
Well,
Does he really?
Yeah,
that's what they say.
Do you think that?
The inside the palace walls rumors, there were always rumors that like Jared and Bannon didn't get along and Ivanka didn't like him, whatever. He is the person who tapped into the populist anger at a young point.
Right.
And what's so sad is Andrew Breitbart would be rolling in his grave if he knew what turned into his website. He was such a provocative, interesting man. I would have loved to have seen him. He passed away from a heart attack, live and see what he would have done with Trump, because I don't believe he would have liked his candidacy. So he still has a lot of power, but it's waning. That kind of speech shows me that they're a little nervous.
The Romneys are Mormon, and each of those boys, they do mission trips.
Yeah, right.
They're like they're different ways.
Is it fair for him to have gone after Romney's kids?
Well,
is that always wrong?
Not when Hans and Fritz haven't gone anywhere.
Yeah.
What about those two? And how about the way he insulted the Gold Star family?
Yes, the Khans.
He said that his Trump said that his Vietnam was avoiding an STD. I mean, the hypocrisy. How deep can the hypocrisy go?
Everybody thinks that I defend Trump all the time and and I do at times. When this stuff starts coming, when you're talking about whose military service is right, whose is wrong, you said you don't like people who are captured, who spent 5.5 years getting tortured in prison. You still haven't apologized, so you don't have a lot of leeway with me talking about any of this.
And you know what I loved about when your dad was here. Oh, sorry. Are we out of time? Okay.
Thank you for letting me have my rant today on that.
Well,
it makes my skin
on this, it is absolutely imperative that you do. We'll be right back.
Thank you.
I was going to say when her dad...
The View Store Online is one-stop shopping for everyone on your list this season.
My lovely Sarah, do you know what makes a great gift for the holidays?
I sure do. I got you one, too. Grab your gifts from the View Store. It's packed with mugs, merch, and a whole lot more.
This is my favorite hoodie. It is so soft. It is so warm. I think it will be your favorite, too.
So get your holiday shopping on now, because the View Store Online is the place to be at Christmas time.
Michael Kors Sexy Ruby, the new fragrance for women. Give the gift of Ruby this holiday. Available at Macy's, your fragrance destination.
Well, here's to first dates. You look amazing.
And you look amazingly comfortable.
When your V-neck looks more like a U-neck, that's when you know it's half-washed. Add Downy to keep your collars from stretching. Unlike detergent alone, Downy conditions to smooth and strengthen fibers. So next time, don't half-wash it. Downy, and it's done.
Your insurance company won't replace the full value of your totaled new car. The guy says, you picked the wrong insurance plan. No, I picked the wrong insurance company.
With new car replacement, we'll replace the full value of your car, plus depreciation. Liberty Mutual Insurance.
Dove proves it can stop daily hair damage before it happens. With these roses, one is treated with Dove. Both are exposed to damaging heat. The rose without Dove is dry and brittle. Dove deeply nourishes and stops 90% of daily hair damage before it happens.
Before I had the shooting, burning, pins and needles of diabetic nerve pain, these feet liked to style my dog as a kid. Loved motherhood, rain or shine. And were pumped to open my own salon. But I couldn't bear my diabetic nerve pain any longer. So I talked to my doctor,
and she prescribed Lyrica. Nerve damage from diabetes causes diabetic nerve pain. Lyrica is FDA approved to treat this pain, from moderate to even severe diabetic nerve pain. Lyrica may cause serious allergic reactions, suicidal thoughts or actions. Tell your doctor right away if you have these, new or worse depression, unusual changes in mood or behavior, swelling, trouble breathing, rash, hives, blisters, muscle pain with fever, tired feeling, or blurry vision. Common side effects: dizziness, sleepiness, weight gain, swelling of hands, legs, and feet. Don't drink alcohol while taking Lyrica. Don't drive or use machinery until you know how Lyrica affects you. Those who've had a drug or alcohol problem may be more likely to misuse Lyrica.
Now I have less diabetic nerve pain, and I love grooming the next generation.
Ask your doctor about Lyrica.
This season, get 2 lines of unlimited data for $80 a month on the Cricket Unlimited 2 plan. Plus, get great deals on LG smartphones when you switch. All on a network that covers over 99% of Americans. Cricket Wireless, something to smile about.
Parodontax, the toothpaste that helps prevent bleeding gums. If you spit blood when you brush or floss, you may have gum problems and could be on the journey to much worse. Help stop the journey of gum disease. Try Parodontax toothpaste. It's clinically proven to remove plaque, the main cause of bleeding gums, for healthy gums and strong teeth. Leave bleeding gums behind with Parodontax toothpaste.
I had this chest cold, but my medicine kept wearing off.
Hey, Chad. I missed you. I was in the tree watching you. Then I fell. I'm not eating pizza from the trash.
Then I discovered Mucinex. Huge difference. 1 pill lasts 12 hours, and I'm good.
Oh, here, kitty, kitty. Ah! Not a cat. Not a cat.
Why take 4-hour medicine? Just 1 Mucinex lasts 12 hours. Start the relief. Ditch the misery. Let's end this.
Okay, I'm ready. Clear Blue digital pregnancy test with smart countdown gives unmistakably clear results written in words. Over 99% accurate. Absolute clarity when you need it most.
Don't miss the Disney Parks Christmas Parade with Fifth Harmony, Sierra, Adina Menzel, Leah Michelle, Jason Derulo, and more. Nick Lachey and Julianne Hough host Disney Parks Magical Christmas Celebration, Christmas morning on ABC.
Oh my gosh, this is happening.
January 1st, Ari's in the driver's seat.
I'm so ready to find love.
Sure, it's been a while, but if you ask these girls, he's worth the wait. The Bachelor premieres Monday, January 1st on ABC.
Hey, Red.
Hey.
So, you were part of an article which talked about some of the challenges of having a baby at 40 and getting married late. I mean, it never would have occurred to me. But why did you participate in this?
Well, I was so honored when they asked. I think it was Glamour. Yes, they did an article because we talked a little bit about how life never looks like what you thought it would, and sometimes that's for the better, and other times it's worse. But if we could all plan our lives, I always say I would have met Max earlier, and we would have had babies earlier.
Yeah.
But that's not how it works out. And I think realistically, I had to come to terms with maybe I wouldn't have babies, or maybe I'd adopt babies, or maybe I'd do something else. But I really wanted to at least meet my partner, and I hit my mid-30s single, and I was like, whoa, where'd the time go? This isn't what I thought it'd look like. So I went online and kind of, Megan and I were I was saying, the point she liked I made is I said, we sell our souls to jobs. We work out to the point you're like, uncomfortable just to be skinny, but when we look for our best friend in life, we want it. When we look for our best friends and our partners, we want it to be convenient and comfortable.
We want the soulmate to come in.
We want them to show up in the produce department at the grocery store, rather than go online because that's so sketchy. You have to go out there if it's something you want, and that's what I did. I kind of treated it like a job. I'd sit down and with a glass of wine every night and look at, I catalog shopped for Max.
But I love the point that you made that, your life didn't look the way you thought it would look, but it's your life, and embracing that, because being an older mom is a little difficult. I had mine at 34 and 38, so I'm almost 50 with an 11-year-old, and that's a little difficult. I know.
I like the idea.
It's a difficult thing, but it's true. It's hard. Okay. But I think that I sacrificed. I always wanted more children, and I think I made the choice to go for career over it because I didn't see a lot of pregnant women at the Justice Department, and I thought it would harm my career, and I don't know if that was the right choice, because if I had known I had fertility problems, I would have tried a lot earlier. But I think women have to make these choices sometimes.
So
You know
what did you
I like?
discover? I'm sorry.
I like the idea that women can meet, you can meet guys now on the internet. In my day.
I do too.
In my day, you had to go to a singles party. You had to go to a resort.
Bar.
You had to be introduced to somebody, or a bar.
Yeah.
You know? And I remember when I was in college and I met my first husband, and my aunt said, well, if you don't meet them in college, you never meet them again. And I thought, I better get married. Which is what I did. And I was too young. I was way too young to do that. But I think that if I thought there were more opportunities, I would have maybe waited.
Well, and it's kind of like the Bridget Jones syndrome. People come to women that aren't married or don't have kids, and that's what they want to talk about to them. And I remember a woman stopping me when I had chihuahuas. I was a very proud chihuahua mom, and she said...
You still are.
Yeah, I am. She was like, you don't want to wait. And I was like, does this look like I'm choosing this? Like, you know, like, you can't just... I wasn't going to snatch